Hi, I'm Nate. Welcome to Stratum, the most powerful, versatile tax planning and projection system on the planet. We've been working with John E. and Jane E. Johnson. We spent our first couple of sessions talking about how a Roth conversion might help. We then worked through some Social Security optimization and finally proposed that John contribute $20,000 a year to his 401k, which, look, he may or may not have been doing already. With those, we can see exactly how their plan solvency changes. Notice that without that additional contribution, they go insolvent here in 2057, as viewed in both the assets and the income projection. With them, we retain solvency, have a solid funding plan, and things are looking pretty decent. Now, John's told us that he is looking to do some ongoing consulting in the year of retirement for about 10 years. He thinks he can make $50,000 a year doing consulting. This is his choice. Doesn't necessarily have to. It does add some comfort level to their planning level, and it gives him a creative outlet. So he's chosen to do that. We can see how those impact the first 10 years. And then, of course, assets change because we need to draw fewer assets during those early years of retirement. Now, that's more of a basic planning construct. Let's talk tax planning. Notice the tax projection shows that they spend the majority of their retirement years in the 22% tax bracket. What could we do about that? Well, here's the idea. If we look at putting just a little bit more of a strategic direction behind our distributions, we might choose to limit our tax deferred asset withdrawals to a 12% bracket, meaning that we would use tax deferred up to that point and then move on to the next tax pool. Let's do that. We'll put a 12% on there. We'll save this and watch what happens to their tax bracket. Throughout retirement now, here we are capped at a 12% tax bracket. That's the highest that we go. That's pretty compelling. Our asset projections, as we can see, are not substantially different in value, but perhaps a little bit different in composition. As I toggle this on and off, you can see the marginal impact there. As expected, we have a little bit more tax deferred asset at the end, which may not be preferable, but nonetheless, this is an intentional maneuver and maybe what we're looking for. Look, this is just the beginning. We're scratching the surface. There's a whole lot more here. Thanks for being here.